these are the lessons that I have been deepening into lately that I feel are really important to share around entrepreneurship, manifesting, money, business, all of the good stuff. So, the first one that I want to share is that there will always be another level reflected back to you by somebody else. And I see this a lot. Women get into this comparison trap. We start to look at what everybody else is doing. And so I want to here's my words of wisdom, the lessons that I've learned. Instead of shrinking in comparison, I really invite you to see all of this as evidence, as examples of what's possible and where you can be one day. When you can get into that vibration and that match of really excitement for somebody else and seeing them as evidence of what's possible, it's a reflection that it actually is a match to you and you can get there. The second thing I want to talk about is just how we get attached to timelines, because I think this one is super potent for a lot of women. We want things to happen quickly, fast, instant access. We're used to that right now. And so we have to the second lesson is that we have to let go of a controlled timeline. This is between, your timeline is between you and your higher power, right? It's you and your highest self. And the more you squeeze yourself into a goal, right, into like making it happen by a certain time, the more you're actually restricting the flow of life force and joy and faith. So really the lesson is standing in this place of it's coming, right? Trust and show up like it's going to happen, and this is going to be a game changer. Okay, the third lesson is that refinement and discernment keeps everything flowing. And what I mean by that is that the more that we have high standards, we clean up our boundaries, we are really clear about what our vision is, the more we don't, let our power leak out to all these extra things, the shinier and more magnetic we can get, right? So you deserve to have what you want, right? And tune in. I had 3 different conversations last week with clients that were tolerating things, feeling frustrated about stuff that's happening either inside of their business or with a staff member or, an employee. And it was sort of like, why are we tolerating this, right? You deserve to have people who are working with you that love to be there, right? So notice that if you're tolerating something in your experience, this is just like normalized suffering. And it's a reminder to clean that up, right? To hold a higher standard, a higher boundary for yourself, right? The more that you clean up your boundaries, the clearer you get about your vision, the less you have power leaks, the shinier and more magnetic you get. All right, the fourth thing here is to make sure that your money goals are actually aligned to your heart and to the desires that you're holding, right? Rather than, here's what I see, and this is why I'm saying this. So a lot of women get into, I need to be at this level because that's the industry standard, or I gotta keep up, right? That kind of mentality keeps you actually in this lack-based feeling. So make your money goals this really sacred relationship between, what it is that you desire and fulfills you, not just your ego, but really thinking about this much more expansively. Like, this is your destiny, right? This is the legacy that you're creating. This is aligned with who you are on a soul level. Money requires a bigger context for it to flow freely, right? It's not about, I want money to have this amount in the bank or so that I get to, this level, right? It's not about that, right? There's got to be a bigger piece there. That's why inside of my Money Mastery, we talk about a money compass. We talk about a purpose for money. Okay. The fifth one I want to say here is being one of the greats is a higher frequency than getting to the top, right? And this is a big one because as women, we've often been trained that we want to get to the top, right? We want to be in that CEO role. We want to be the leader, right? We want to be the best. But what if we could reflect on this differently and be one of the greats? It's a much more collaborative, community-oriented, relationship-oriented approach, right? We want to be dancing on the top with all the people who have climbed that same mountain too, right? We don't want to be alone, right? With nobody to share our abundance with. We actually want to be in community. This has been one of the things that has truly been the biggest lesson, right? The more that we celebrate others, the more that we attract even that same frequency to us, the more that we can collaborate and promote others. I'm constantly promoting other women in my community, sharing them out, connecting people, not because I'm expecting to get something back, but really because I just, out of the generosity of my heart, I want to connect good people together, right? I want to see them do business together. I want to see them go off and produce amazing things together if that's what's meant to happen. So being one of the greats is a higher frequency than just trying to get to the top, right? So notice that, where does any of that jealousy or weirdness come in for you? Because that's you on notice that this is something to focus on. Okay, 6. This is one of the lessons that I've had to learn over and over. When you think that there's something to fix, you're going to find something to fix. And so here's the thing, and I always say this when I get into new relationships and the visionary women that I'm coaching, right? I'm assuming that you are whole, right? You are completely divine and whole, and nothing is broken about you, right? There's nothing here that we have to fix. And so I just want to remind that to you, you're not broken, right? You're not a fixer-upper project, right? I want to, inside of my coaching, look to empower, right? Not to problem solve. Sometimes I'll roll up my sleeves and I'll put on my strategy lens, right? And we'll do that kind of work together. We'll look at, how to improve something even better, but it's always about really empowering, right? Inside of you, knowing that you're coming to whatever your work is, whatever your goals are, as a whole, inherently worthy individual, right? And so there may be things that we have to clean up energetically, but it's not because we're broken, right? So here's the thing. Embodying this and really getting to know this is so important, because otherwise we're on this constant hamster wheel of there's something wrong, right? And then the real truth is that we're actually exactly where we're meant to be, even if we're not at that final destination that we've envisioned, right? It's really about that journey to get there anyways. So just remembering that. 7, the other lesson that I wrote down here that I wanted to give you is that trust that you are always being guided, that you are led, you are held, you are supported, right? And that level of trust is a choice, right? Choosing to believe in that is a choice, right? It's a decision, right? You can hide when, sometimes things are going to be hard, but we can trust that we're still going to be held, right? So it's not about thinking that everything's just going to be easy and we're going to be guided and led and we're just going to skip our way to the end, right? There's still going to be challenges. There's still going to be frustrations. There's going to be things that don't work out. And we can trust that we're held, we're guided, we're led, we're in these experiences for a reason, to get the lesson, to get the next learning, right? To experience that challenge, to get even more discernment, even more refinement about where it is that we're going on our journey, or the way that we want to get there, right? Good stuff. Okay. The 8th thing I wrote down here is own your power, believe in your enoughness. So, this one is really, really key, and it's something that I've had to get more and more grounded on as I work with more and more powerful women, right? If you want to work with successful women and you want to lead them, then you actually have to trust in your own power and your ambition, your vision, the things that you desire, and knowing that they're meant for you. And this doesn't matter if you're, coaching other people, or if you're leading a business that has multiple product lines and you have a staff underneath you, right? You have to trust that in your own power in order to lead other successful women, right? You have to have that confidence that you are, if you're a coach, that you're the right mentor for them. If you are their leader, that you are the right match for them, right? And that confidence comes from unapologetically owning your own power and your own gifts and your own skill sets and your own results, right? And not in a braggadocious way, but really in just a, yes, this is who I am, this is what I offer, and these are the places where I'm an expert. And I'm also, because I can see my own expertise, I can witness yours as well, right? That is that's a very generous approach. It's a very emotionally intelligent place to be as a leader, or as a guide and mentor. Okay, 9. The other thing I wrote here, and I love this one, and I've been playing with it a lot recently, and I think that's why I wrote it down and I want to give it to you, is to break the rules, shake things up, practice healthy transgressions, right? And do the thing. And so here's what I mean by healthy transgressions. If you always do the same exact routine every day, drive the same route to work out the same way, do your meditation exactly the same way, eat the same things, maybe you need to shake it up, right? To just burst in some new energy, right? Try the edgy look that you're afraid of, shake up the routine. If that means you never meditate, then meditate if that's something that you're resisting. Cut your hair, go to the workout class if you're always doing your workout outside or at home, right? Take the vacation that's a splurge, right? In the moment, right? Make that investment in your lifelong memory bank. Have the hard conversation that you need to have that's going to lead to the liberation and the self-trust that you're really desiring, right? Surrender to the breakdown that leads to the breakthrough. All of these are ways to break the rules, shake things up, do things a little bit differently, and inject a different energy, right? Get you sort of, shake things up and quicken the path to where it is that you actually want to go in a new and inspired way. All right, the last one that I had here is to trust that you are on your own one-of-one path, the path that is meant for you. This is a sacred path. It is uniquely yours. Only you know how to walk it, right? Only you can decide to walk it willingly, right? Only you can say, yes, this is where I want to go, and then walk it. And so the bigger context here is that you are exactly where you are meant to be. There is no rush. There is no unlived life about to be lived to the fullest, right? That you are not going to get to, right? You are here to live your life to the fullest, and there's enough time to get there, right? There's so much money that is about to flow into your receptivity. There's so much self-trust, right? And that's available to you when you anchor into the structures of your fiercest, most loving, most grounded power, right? When you ground into knowing that you are led and guided, right? When you say, yes, I'm willing to walk this path. So those are my top 10 that I wrote down, just, things that I've been deepening into, I continuously am playing with, and I see come up over and over in the conversations with my private one-on-one clients, women who are inside of my Money Mastery Academy. I hope that these have been helpful for you. I just want to check in and see, what questions do you guys have? What comments? I would love for you to comment below. If this is something that has been of service to you, you can go on my business page or share this out via LinkedIn, or from my Facebook page.